This short practice is called the poly, and it's particularly working on strengthening the pelvic tilt, so the ability to get rid of the low, deep crease in the low back, strengthen the bottom muscles and the tummy muscles that create that pelvic tilt. So to start with, if you find it difficult to sit cross-legged, take a couple of blocks or even more than that. So this is 4 inches off the floor on 2 blocks, so you can have 3 blocks, 6 inches off anything, just so you can get into the position where your legs are slightly crossed in front of you, even if it's just a little bit further forward, but so that you have to sit up nice and straight and you'll feel the upper back working. Okay, so let's turn the palms out and just take them overhead, a big inhale. So you're using your upper back muscles now, and you hopefully can feel a little bit of work in the belly. And then we're going to take the right hand down and reach it long out of the left waist. And to the other side. So fingers can go onto the blocks or onto the floor on your fingertips, reach over. Now all the time you're keeping your chest and head slightly lifted. Okay, then we're going to take the left hand on the right knee and again grow tall, so you're strengthening in the spine. And to the other side, so hand behind, inhale. Okay, and then we're going to take the hands forward a little bit, so just leaning forward, hopefully stretching the lower back. Again, if you want to put your feet straight, and just bend forward so that your lower back is getting a stretch. Okay, so let's come off the blocks and come onto the hands and knees. So you've got a nice long space between the hands and the knees. Don't have it here. You can't work well with the spine. Take the hands quite far forward. And then we're going to round in the lower back. So you feel your bottom tucking under and your belly drawing in, and you try to find some sort of stretch across the lower back. Then we'll let it drop down, but not too far because we're working with a back that's already got a deep curve. So let it go to neutral and pull in the pelvic floor and the lower belly. So you're trying not to round again, you're trying to keep the back down, but really pull in the low belly and the pelvic floor. So hold that, it's really hard to get hold of that muscle. And then round again, so you squeeze your bottom to try and get that tilt and open the lower back. Okay, let's go down once more. So pulling in the lower belly, holding tight in that belly as you just have the back in a nice neutral position. Great, okay, one more time, round, and then put the hands forward slightly and come back into what we call a puppy if you can't get your hips back on your knees. So you're going as far back into child's pose as you can. So again, you're getting this rounding in the lower back, but if that's difficult, you may need to not sink as far back onto the heels if the knees won't allow that sort of flexion. So if you haven't got that range in the knee, just stay where you're comfortable. So here you're getting a stretch in the upper back. You can pull the lower belly and the pelvic floor in. You can reach the arms away, and hopefully you're getting some sort of stretch across the sort of upper back, the thoracic part of the back, where the rib cage is at the back there. So some people call that the mid back. But just feeling it there, getting as far back as you can. Again, if you can go all the way back, that would be great, but I know that that's not available to everybody. Okay, so let's come up and come into high kneeling. So this is a really good position for strengthening the bottom muscles and pulling in the belly. So we're again strengthening that. We're going from sticking out bottom and a big curve in the lower back. We're going to squeeze the bottom and get rid of the curve and work hard down the back of the legs and in the glutes. So you can just hold there. You can take your arms overhead to make it a bit harder. So you're not taking the hips forward, you're keeping over the knees, the hips. You're nice and straight, chin drawn back, and you're squeezing your bottom. Okay, let's bring the hands to prayer. So we have to balance here. If you need to hold on to something, do, and take the right foot forward. Now make sure that shin is sloping away from you a little bit. Then bring the weight forward. So you've got more weight now in the right foot and that shin is vertical. And then you squeeze your left bottom till you feel a stretch in the front of the left thigh. So you can take the arms up, hold in the belly. So you've got strengthening going on across the thoracic part of the back. You've got your bottom on the left squeezing tight to stretch the front of the left thigh. So let's take 5 breaths. Okay, let's take the fingertips down onto the inside of that right foot and let the hip drop forward now. So you can take that right foot further forward. So now you're getting a hugely deep stretch on the front of the left thigh. Again, you can squeeze your left bottom just to increase that stretch. And if you can be on your fingertips, or if that's uncomfortable, you can always use a block. But what you don't want to be is down here with a rounded back. You want to try and flatten your back and lift your chest. Be careful of the neck. And then you get a deep stretch in the front of that left thigh and maybe in the inside of the right groin. Okay, let's come back. Again, high kneeling. Squeeze the bottom. Take the arms overhead. Let's just hold here. Okay. Hands to prayer, left foot goes forward, shin sloping away. Take the weight so that the left shin is now vertical, so you've taken the weight forward. I want you to squeeze your right bottom as you take your arms overhead. So lower belly and right bottom are squeezing tightly so that you can really get that opening here. So here is the stretch. So this has got short because of the bottom sticking out a little bit. Those bottom muscles not working as much as they should. So really lifting in your upper back and tucking that tailbone down, squeezing the right glute, the right bottom. Really good for your balance as well. Okay, let's bring the fingertips down. Fingertips, drop that right hip really low. So the left one is vertical and the right one is taking a huge stretch. And again, if it's uncomfortable to be on your fingertips, maybe put your block belly a little bit higher, but you're trying to have this upper back as flat as you can and the chin drawn in. So not rounded back, head lifted, drawn in chin, and a nice stretch in the front of that right hip. So you can tuck your tummy in, squeeze your right bottom. That will get you even more stretch in the front of that thigh. Okay, let's come back. Final high kneeling. So, tuck, tuck, tuck. Inhale. Hopefully a little easier to hold this position now. Let's just take 3 breaths again. Okay, so we're going to roll onto the back before we get up. So going onto your back. So we're going to first of all encourage that lower back to press into the mat. So if you take your hands behind your knees or on top of your knees, whichever's more comfortable, it doesn't matter. It's not about the knees. We're trying to get your nose to your knees to round the lower back. So you've got to pull hard in the belly and hopefully getting a little stretch in that lower back. You can move side to side slightly and then drop down again. All right, let's do it again. So pull the knees towards the nose and the nose towards the knees and try and round your back, pulling hard in the belly. Okay, and away. All right, this time let's take the hands and try and reach for your feet. So you're really using your muscles now to try and reach for the feet. using your belly. This is going to be hard work. So deep breaths and down again. Great. So you've got that, hopefully that sensation of the lower back pressing into the mat. So now we're going to, I'm just going to take this to the other side so you can see what's going on in the hips. So the back naturally arches up. You've got your feet flat and your knees bent. So the first thing we do, I'll put my arms overhead, but you can have them overhead or by your side. I'm going to take this one away so you can see. We're going to flatten the lower back first and squeeze your bottom and lift just the bottom. So the back is still quite rounded. You can go a little bit higher, but make sure your feet muscles, not in the lower back at all. So we'll just squeeze there. Let's roll down and make sure we've got it again. So squeeze the bottom, roll up. So now you've got a big stretch in the front of the thigh and a lot of work in the back of the thighs. So bring that arm down and squeeze the bottom. So let's hold for 5 breaths. Down again, and we'll do that one more time. So flatten the back, squeeze the bottom, lift the hips. So here we are, we've got the hips lifted, the bottom is working really hard. We're just going to take 5 touches of the knees together and apart again. So keep that bottom strong, touch the knees together, open slightly, touch the knees together, open slightly. Your bottom is going to start burning a little bit, but that's fine as it gets stronger. So touch again, that's 4. Touch again, that's 5. So your bottom will be really burning now, and then slowly lower down. Well done. All right, so let's stretch now. Flatten the lower back and round, just rocking side to side. Okay, so if you want to just sort of rock up or roll on your side, we're going to come into standing. Okay, so we're going to trying to release this lower back. We're going to take a forward fold. So take the arms up and then bend the knees a little bit and round yourself down. So you've got to get the head right down. You can keep the knees slightly bent and then press the knees back until you feel a nice stretch in the lower back. So you pull your tummy in, squeeze the bottom a little bit, and then when you come up, let's roll up using the belly to stretch out the lower back. Okay, let's take the arms up. Take it one more time. So you fold down. Feel a deep stretch in the lower back. Drop the head right down. Pull in the belly. And then squeezing the belly as you slowly roll up again. Arms overhead. Your feet are together, so there's a little bit of balance going on here. And then final time. Forward fold. Tuck the tailbone down. Round the back. And then arms out. And up we go. Great. Okay, let's bring the hands to prayer. All right, so maybe you need a wall or something. So if you need to touch something to help with the balance, but we're going to bring the right knee up as high as you can. So if you can lift up one arm, that would be great. That keeps the upper back straight. And you're trying to lift that right knee as high as you possibly can. It's fine if you want to touch the wall. If you can do it without, that would be great. So hold here till your left bottom and your tummy, you can really feel them switching on. So don't stop because of the balance. Put your finger on the wall and then you can get the strength in the standing leg as you lift the other one. Okay. And the other side. So lifting the left knee as high as you possibly can. till you feel your right bottom working. So you can see I'm not leaning back, I'm bringing the knee up as far as I can, and my right bottom is working really hard to tilt the pelvis. So pushing that right heel into the ground, breathe. So you can have one finger on the wall, that's fine. Just try and hold the knee lift. Okay, foot down. Well done. Okay, let's take a big inhale. And we're going to take a powerful pose. So arms horizontal is fine. We're going to sit back. Now you sit back so you can see your feet, and then you've got a little tailbone tuck. So belly is pulling in hard, bottom's tucking under, and we're going to take 5 breaths. Okay, come up. And one more time. So sit back, tuck the tailbone under, so you've rounded the lower back. So bottom under, you want to look down, see your toes, breathe, you're really curling. Okay, and arms down. Well done. Okay, let's put the feet wide apart now, and we're going to take a warrior 2. So the feet are really quite nicely wide, and we turn the right foot down the mat and bend the knee. Now you want the knee over the ankle, not over the foot. So maybe you need to take the left foot away a little bit, and then you can take the arms out. And the idea here is to try and get that knee to open as widely as you can. In other words, you're trying to look down and see the big toe on the inside of your right knee. That will fire up all the muscles on the outside of the thigh. If the arms get tired, just take them behind your back and draw your shoulder blades together. But try and keep that tailbone tucked down. So you're using the lower belly and using the bottom muscles and opening that right knee. So hold and breathe. Okay, let's turn those right toes in and take a wide forward bend. So we're going to come down, and again you can let go of your lower back as you really come down, push the feet apart, get that deep stretch in the back of the legs. You can hold the tummy in and the pelvic floor and try and get that lovely rounding in the lower back. And then you can lift the upper back a little bit. So you come straight, take a deep breath and bow a little bit deeper. So you really feel the lower back taking a stretch. Okay, let's come up. We're going to turn the heels in, bend the knees and take our little cactus. So we're trying to get our knees as wide as possible, tailbone down and bringing the arms up. So open those knees as wide as you can, big breath, and you've got the tailbone down. Okay, so straighten up, take an inhale, and finally we've got our warrior 2 to the left. So turn the right toes in slightly, a bit pigeon-toed on the left, and turn the left foot down the mat so it's in line with the long edge of the mat. Take the arms nice and long and open that left knee so you can see down to the left big toe. And you're looking down, you've got that tilt, that pulling in of the belly and tailbone down. That will create a stretch on the inner thigh. And you can look down your left arm if you can Again, this is not particularly about the arms right now, it's about getting this pelvic tilt. So squeeze the shoulder blades together if your arms get tired, but just see if you can maintain that tucking down. Breathe. And you're trying to open that knee as wide as you can so you feel your left bottom working. Lovely. Okay, and release. All right, we're going to walk the feet in. Maybe walk them for a second so you don't feel faint. Take a big inhale. Tuck the tailbone down. Lift the chest. And exhale. So, you can do that again. Thanks.